Greetings, Light Tribe, Janine Palmer here, Spirit Silver Moon for Harmony Energy Healing. And I feel called to do a little video today. This is the end of April 2019. We just recently had some damage to the Notre Dame Cathedral. And people have different feelings about that. And everybody's entitled to their feelings, even if other people don't understand what they are or why they're there. And so I had a conversation with a friend who did a post that was saying something about, oh, people are donating money to this when they should be donating money to this instead, to something else. Because in his opinion and many others, it's like, okay, well, we need to focus on the planet and other things that might need something more. Okay, so different people have different points of interest or focus, things that they're drawn to, things that they support, donate their time, their efforts, their positive or their negative energy, or whatever it might be. And thankfully there are so many wonderful things going on right now with regard to animals, to the treatment of animals, the ethical treatment of animals all over the world. And that's so encouraging to see. Very, very thankful for that. So different people are drawn towards different things for different reasons, and it's not up to anybody else to judge any of that. But why do we get caught up in that so much? We're saying, oh, I don't think the money should go here because I think it should go there. Okay, people think different things for different reasons. We should really try to keep this in mind. So I did a post on it because I had the opportunity to visit a couple times a cathedral in England called Ely Cathedral, and most recently a few years ago. And it's called the Ship of the Fens. It's absolutely massive. And the Fens are reclaimed land, reclaimed from the ocean. And it's amazing. This thing was built there like, I don't know, 1,000 years ago or something, or more. I don't remember the dates. It was built and then, added on to a rebuilt. In fact, one of the towers collapsed way back when and it was rebuilt, but they had the resources, they had the materials and the men who knew how to do it, the stonemasons, to rebuild it. So when you hear the story of that cathedral and why it was started, it's very interesting. And then it morphed into more of the religious stuff that we know from back in the day, which we know that there have been religious atrocities throughout history that are nothing to be proud about. And some people are here doing the work to help recover and heal from that crap. The Spanish Inquisition, darkness through and through, working through religions, but not getting off on that tangent today. So when we see the news, be very careful with the news and what it does to you. Look at what it does to you. What's it doing to you? Follow the route to that down and see where it goes. So apparently there's money in place to rebuild the cathedral. I'm going to talk about that in a minute and my feelings on that because, well, I'll just talk about it now. Well, I'm a person who loves architecture and history. So, and the craftsmanship is unbelievable. To be in the presence of that creation and to look around you and ponder the history and what it took to build it, that it was a labor of love. It's mind-boggling and it's breathtaking and it's a thing of beauty. To me, it's art. To me, it's historic, poetic art. That's just my feeling. People feel differently about it. So for me, oh yes, I would want Notre Dame to be rebuilt. Absolutely. It's a piece of history. It has great meaning to people aside from religious. I mean, some people are religious and have that connection to it. Some people just like history and architecture and have that connection to it. Neither one of those things is wrong. But, some people feel like, oh, so maybe there's insurance money in place. Maybe there's donations. People donate to what they feel called to donate to, and it's not up to any, I won't even use, I want to say, to judge. Okay. So, but people do. So if that church has meaning to someone, whether for historical purposes, architectural purposes, maybe it's someone that somewhere they visited and has sentimental meaning, maybe it's religious purposes, maybe they want to donate $100 to help with the rebuilding of it. How do we know that that person also doesn't donate to things for the planet, for animals, for people? We don't know that. So we just think, oh, there's money going to that, and I don't think it should go to that because of blah, blah, blah. Well, there's a lot of reasons why someone might think it shouldn't go there, but there's probably a lot of other reasons why it should go there, and it's perfectly okay for it to go there that people aren't even looking at or maybe don't even care to consider. You know, so we don't know why people do what they do, but it's their choice and their right to do it. Okay, and we want to judge things when we do not have all the information. It's the scourge of this planet. It's been ongoing and it continues to be ongoing, of judging what we don't fucking understand. Thinking that we have the right to judge what matters to someone else. My house was devastated in wildfires, burned to the ground, and I had insurance money. Our family, we had insurance money to rebuild our home and our lives. And family and friends judged us for what we were doing. But guess what? We learn a lot from those experiences. When we lose family and friends because they judge from a place of ignorance or unkindness, because they don't have the compassion that's necessary to try to understand what someone is doing or trying to do, even if they do it wrong. When people are going through something they've never been through before, or they have their reasons for doing what they do, and somebody else wants to look on them and tell them that, or decide that something is wrong. They're lacking information that applies. They don't know, and or they're not taking into consideration. So they create this angst and these rifts between families because of ignorance. What is ignorance? Because of information that is lacking. Okay, because people think they're judge and jury. And what is judgment feeding? Ego. So some people feel like, oh, there's a certain type of retribution. Yeah, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Horrible things happen through history because of religions that need to be healed. And when things are going on at the same time in the world, there's messages here. Yeah, there's messages here. But to have a feeling that something should be rebuilt doesn't necessarily need to be tied to religion. Because if anybody knows me and the work I do, I don't care much for man-made religions, organized religions. But I love the buildings because I love the history, because I love the art and the architecture. So if somebody wants to tell me that I'm wrong for that, I don't really care. I don't really give a shit. That's just what it means to me. But what I'm saying is when people want to say, oh, I'm going to focus on the fact that I'm pissed off because someone's donating money to rebuild an architectural piece of history that matters to a lot of people. I'm mad that they're doing that because they should be putting their money somewhere else. Who in the hell has the right to say what is important to anyone else or to condemn them for what they do or what they feel called to do? And you don't know what else they donate to. So sometimes it's necessary for reminders of a little bit of shut the hell up. And not to be rude and disrespectful, but to be aware. To be aware that as we're focusing this negative energy on something, we could be doing so much better to be focusing positive energy on the thing that we want the money to go to. Maybe. I don't know. Just a limited perspective from over here. Peace.